Welcome to Mint Collectibles. I'm your boy GemMint. Today we're going to do a review on the X-Men Omnibus Volume 2 by Jim Lee and Chris Claremont. A lot of you guys might have seen my Volume 1, which I was hugely disappointed by. And, a lot of people agreed with me. A lot of people were pissed off. But I'm happy to say that Volume 2 was much, much better. I really enjoyed this book. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell, and the like. We are giving away this Diamond Select Thanos from Infinity War once we hit 75,000 subscribers. Stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'll tell you what you got to do to enter. Also, if you want to pick up these brand new GemMintC t-shirts, make sure to hit one of the links to our Teespring account underneath the video. Alright, so let's jump into the review. Basically, my problems with Volume 1 is that the team wasn't together, they were scattered about, all the X-Men were dead. There was a lot of pages that didn't have X-Men in there, a lot of characters that weren't part of the main story, random soldiers, random Reavers, random whatever. And now continuing the run, we can see what they were doing. They were really breaking everybody apart so they could bring everybody back together. And that's exactly what happens in this book. This starts off with an XFactor story, which Jim Lee does a lot of plots. He doesn't do as much art as I thought when you read the title, Jim Lee and Chris Claremont. So he doesn't draw everything in here. You have a lot of Whilce Portacio, whose artwork is awesome, though. So, no complaint there in the art department. The X-Factor books basically give a reason for them to stop being X-Factor and to join back with the X-Men. Basically, their ship, the sentient machine ship that they've been living in this whole time, it gets destroyed. There's this final battle with Apocalypse. And we get a development with Baby Cable. Baby Cable, this is where he goes into the future because Apocalypse has infected him with that technovirus. So they take Baby Cable to the future, and we all know what ends up happening with that. But this is where basically we lose Baby Cable, X-Factor ship is destroyed, and it reunites them with the new X-Men team, which at this point is Colossus, Wolverine, Storm, Gambit, Psylocke. But before we get the big reuniting, we have one final story in the pages of Uncanny X-Men, which deals with the Shadow King. The Shadow King has been possessing Moira McTaggart for some time now, been possessing Professor X, has basically been a thorn in the side for a lot of the Claremont run, at least leading up into this omnibus. So the final battle with the Shadow King leads right directly into the relaunch of the X-Men, X-Men #1, the 1 million copies sold X-Men book with the 5 covers by Jim Lee. And this is really a fun run. You get the first 12 issues or so. Well, you get issues 1 through 9 and material from issues 10 and 11. And we'll talk about the little Ghost Rider tie-in at the end. But yeah, the relaunch was really fun. I was reading it and I was excited, even though it's been almost, 30 years now. I was excited reading this. Everybody's together. They're under the mansion again. They're with Professor X again. They're hitting the pool. They're playing basketball. They have a lot of fun, right? Magneto is back. He's back on Asteroid M. He's got the Acolytes, which is basically mutants that are worshipping Magneto. They want him to come back and be their leader. So you get a 3-issue series versus Magneto. Then you get the introduction of Omega Red. Omega Red is a super dope character. I really liked reading his origins again. I've read this in the past. But he's got a history with Wolverine and with Sabretooth as part of the CIA and stuff like that before Wolverine lost his memory. So awesome stuff there. It does end kind of on a low note with the whole Mojoverse stuff and this long shot heavy issue with number 10. And then you get a Ghost Rider crossover, which is 2 issues from X-Men, 2 issues from Ghost Rider, which deal with Gambit and his origins. We go back to New Orleans. You're dealing with the Assassins Guild, with the Thieves Guild. Gambit's wife comes back. And it's kind of fun. The Ghost Rider stuff is fun. They're fighting the Brood in New Orleans. So overall, it was a fun, action-packed omnibus with great artwork. There weren't really many slow points. I think that the weakest point here is probably the Mojoverse at the end is a little bit goofy, which is at the issues, maybe 7, 8, 9 of the X-Men book. But let's flip through it. This omnibus not only has great artwork, it has a ton of bonuses. I love the bonuses in this book. So let's take a look at it real quick. All right, so one of the covers here, it's the cover for X-Men issue 11. By Jim Lee. Awesome cover. They do have a variant for this, which I believe, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe we'll see it in the back. But here is the front. Here's the spine. You have Magneto from X-Men #1 on the bottom there. Chris Claremont, Jim Lee, Whilce Portacio. And here's the back. Like I said, you get X-Factor 63 through 70. Uncanny X-Men 273 through 280. Actually, the variant is the fold-out from 275. Then it has X-Men 1 through 9 with material from issues 10 and 11, plus Ghost Rider 26 and 27. You have all the covers on the back. All right, the inside of the dust jacket, just a little bit about the creators, a little bit about the X-Men. And this is the first print. This is the old school one, so it has just this, kind of plain black and silver look. All right, so Wolverine and Cyclops, and Iceman from the cover of issue 1. Here's the table of contents. Kind of shows you what leads up to this with Giant Size, with the Dark Phoenix saga, Fall of the Mutants, Inferno. This is volume 1, and then Extinction Agenda is between these two volumes. So here's the XFactor stuff. It kind of starts off slow with Iceman with his girlfriend. And I think it's kind of reminded me a lot of the Wolverine Frank Miller saga. I think he has to go to Japan to get her, and he's kind of got to learn the ways of the samurai or something. Or he's fighting, like, I don't know if they're the hand ninjas or what have you. I'm digging Cyclops' XFactor outfit. See, like, you could already tell by the cover of Uncanny 273, like, you're getting the whole team back. This is the team without XFactor, and then you can see Marvel Girl with Cyclops, and they're all basically going to reunite. Got Banshee, Beast. I love this team with Wolverine in costume matching the rest of the team, because you don't see that really after this, right? I mean, they're not as uniform as they are here, and I really like that fold-out cover. I actually bought the single issue recently so I could frame the cover. Let's see what it looks like. Here it is right here. It's the front, the back, and then this is a fold-out, so it's like the length of 3 comic books. So I'm going to frame this and put it up somewhere in the room here. Even Psylocke and Gambit in those outfits, I think that's really cool. All right, let's keep it moving. You got some Deathbird stuff. Basically, you have the Shadow King. He starts turning the X-Men against each other. That's kind of what happens in the fight with him. So, Psylocke is bad, Wolverine is bad, Gambit is bad for, like, these couple of issues. I think Colossus is even bad. Then we wrap up the whole battle with Apocalypse here in the last XFactor issues. Love the artwork, man. Archangel looks dope. Portasio did an awesome job, man. It's hard to tell what's him and what's Jim Lee, to be honest. Ship with the self-destruct mode. Oh yeah, then you get this team up with the Inhumans. It's crazy to see, like, Black Bolt in that same style. Here goes Black Bolt. You got Apocalypse on throne right here. That's pretty cool. With Baby Cable. That's dope. I like that costume, man. We should see a statue of that, right? So, Cyclops has to make the decision to let his son be taken away, because it's the only way that can save him. So that's when we lose Baby Cable. We probably don't see him until New Mutants 87 again. Shadow King. Oh yeah, Legion plays a role with the Shadow King. Yeah, so then it ends like this with the new X-Men team. And Professor X is back. X-Factor is back. He's like, what am I going to do with 14 X-Men now? So boom. Then we jump into... This felt big reading it now. I could imagine. I mean, I was around when it came out. I was young, though. But I could imagine the impact this had, man, with all these dope-ass covers and this new story and bringing everybody together. Bringing back Magneto as a villain, because he had been good for a while, right? He was the headmaster of the New Mutants while Professor X was gone. The new X-Men team are training together to attack Professor X. I love this part. Bang, Charlie, you're dead. Wolverine back in brown. Everyone's back in their own costume. They really had a defined look here. So many great panels, man, on this issue 1. So many iconic ones. This Psylocke one. It's Wolverine. And I love the extras at the end of this. So at the end of issue 1, you get a villains gallery by Jim Lee and Scott Williams. Then you get a Blast from the Past, original X-Men team. You get the swimsuit edition thing. Then you get the tease Things to Come with Omega Red, with, what's his name, Shinobi. Then you get a ton of sketches. You get this whole flip side of the gatefold poster. And then you get issue 2. I have this as a wood art piece. So the stuff with Magneto's cool. He's basically becoming a villain again in the first 3 issues. And then we get the Omega Red issue in issue number 4. I love the artwork here. You have a basketball game between Gambit and Wolverine, Jubilee. So 90s, right? So extreme 90s. But it's fun, man. I love the artwork in this series. Got the battle with Omega Red. And look, Wolverine's already in a different costume. More Omega Red stuff in issue 5. Alright, so that's enough of all that. Yeah, so the 2 of these issues are dedicated to Ghost Rider, and it's a lot with Gambit's backstory, which is cool because we still don't really know much about Gambit at this point. Also, this book skips Bishop's Crossing. The X-Men title skips the Uncanny title in this omnibus. Like, they should have had Uncanny 281 through 283 in here, because you get Bishop in here, and he meets the X-Men, even though he already met some of them in the prior issues. So it's so cool because he's like fanboying out. Love these big spreads of them. All right, so for extras, let's take a look at the extras in the back, man, because I was really impressed. I almost wanted to rip him out. So a lot of Jim Lee stuff, like advertisements and stuff that he was doing around this time. A preview, Overstreet guides, magazine covers, sketches, but that's not even the big deal for me. Look at this, the sketch of the cover number 1 here. More advertisements, I love that. Look, this is the pinup that was used for the cover for Volume 1. Mighty Mutant Tour print. The Wolverine and Punisher. Then you have the swimsuit stuff. Jim Lee did his thing, man. Psylocke. Yeah, so here goes that fold out. I forget why they show these covers. Oh, this is the second printing with the silver background. This was recently just used for a variant for Wolverine number 1. And then he has, okay, all the Jim Lee cards from the Marvel Universe set. And then he has the entire X-Men 92 card set in here, man. Like, you don't even need the binder with all the cards. It has the entire set. That's awesome, man. I wish every omnibus would include the trading card set that corresponded with it. I kind of want to get the set just to frame this, man. The Danger Room 9-card connecting set. That's dope, man. Look, even the holograms, and you can see the original hologram and how they hologrammed it or whatever. Ton of bonuses. Yo, you know what else they even have? So they have the Chromium Classics joint. That's dope. And they even have an updated colorized version of that poster from 275. And check this out. This is what I was really impressed with. So not only do they have the fold-out poster, right? They also have on the reverse side have the recolorized of it, of the whole poster. And on the back of this original gatefold poster, was this poster. And they also have it with the recolorized version on the back. So, man, awesome to include these extras. I don't know if the reprints are going to have those or what, but super cool to have those as extras in the back of this book. All Alright guys, that's the review for the X-Men Volume 2 Omnibus, which is getting a reprint, by the way, so definitely worth it. It's still worth getting Volume 1, even though, like I said, it felt very slow to me. You still had a lot of great stuff in that omnibus, like the introduction of Jubilee, her first interactions with Wolverine, first appearance of Gambit, his first interactions with Storm, Storm becoming a teenager and reverting back. So all that stuff is pretty cool, and it leads up to this with Extinction Agenda in the middle. If you guys are following along, I'm doing an X-Men read through and I have a playlist here so you guys can kind of see chronologically as I'm reading these. Definitely enjoyed this book. I appreciate you guys watching. And alright guys, like I said earlier, we are giving away this Diamond Select Thanos statue from Infinity War once we hit the 75,000 subscriber milestone. So all you have to do to enter this giveaway is be subscribed to this channel, hit the notification bell. You need to like and comment on this video. Once we hit the 75,000 subscribers, we're going to pick a random video that we've promoted this giveaway in and do a YouTube random comment generator to pick the winner. So the more videos you comment on, the more of a chance you're going to have to win. This will be a worldwide giveaway, so all you have to do is subscribe and comment. You guys stay minty fresh. Peace.